Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mass Retirees Weekly Update. Today's Friday, October 18th. I'm Sean Duhamel. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining with me again this week. Now, our main focus of this week's weekly update will be our general election legislative endorsements, which will be contained in the email message that will be sent to all of our members this morning. We will also be posting our endorsement list on our website, which of course is massretirees.com. Now, joining me this week to help me walk through the process that we use in terms of determining who to endorse is our legislative chairman, Tom Bonarigo, who together with our legislative liaison, Nancy McGovern, spearhead the Mass Retirees legislative program and our approach, which was widely successful during the current session. Before I jump into the details of our endorsements, let me first remind everybody that today in Plymouth, we will be holding our Plymouth area meeting. It takes place at 11 a.m. this morning at the 1620 Hotel, which is located right down on the Plymouth waterfront on Water Street. It's a beautiful day today. It's a great time to be down on the Plymouth waterfront. This is also a homecoming of sorts for me. I grew up in Plymouth, as some of you may know, so it's going to be wonderful to see some friends and former teachers and spend the afternoon down in the town of Plymouth. So if you are on the South Shore, in and around the Plymouth area, please come on by. Our area meetings are open to all association members. You're welcome to bring a guest. We serve light refreshments, and of course, we will be drawing cash door prizes for those members who are still in attendance at the end of the meeting. Now, in terms of our legislative endorsements, and we have endorsed 22 incumbent state representatives, 7 newcomers who are running for open state representative seats, as well as 2 candidates for the state Senate, one being an incumbent state senator and the other being a current state representative who's running for an open state Senate seat down in the town of Plymouth, as a matter of fact. All of these candidates, whether they be incumbents or newcomers, are folks that we have vetted and, most importantly, fit a certain criteria that we use to determine who we're going to endorse and who we're going to recommend to our members to support, whether it's in a primary or, in this case, the general election, which takes place on Tuesday, November 5th. Now, the number one criteria that we use above and beyond everything else is whether or not a candidate for public office has a record of supporting public retirees and the issues that are specifically important to public retirees. We don't look at party affiliation. We don't look at ideology. We don't look at positions on unrelated issues. There are plenty of groups and organizations out there, as well as you as an individual, who are focused on things that have nothing to do with public retirement. You can base your decisions of whom to support on whatever criteria you would like, but in terms of it as an association, those are the things that we are focused on. Now, our political involvement as an association is as old as this association, going all the way back to our founding in 1968. Our association has been very involved in the political process, supporting those candidates who support our members. Everything that we have been able to achieve over the past 56 years has come through the political process. So in terms of sitting on the sidelines and not getting involved, it's just not possible. We have to be involved in politics. We have to represent our members and be your voice, whether it be on Beacon Hill or in any city or town hall across Massachusetts. And we're strictly focused, again, on the issues that are of direct importance to our members. So in addition to that criteria, I thought it would be a good idea to bring Tom Bonarigo on board for this recording. That way I'm not alone today. I'm just speaking to a camera. But for Tom being the leader of our legislative program and being the one-on-one really most involved with the legislators and working on Beacon Hill in the State House, and Tom comes from a very long career working directly in the State House, and he's now a state retiree. That's why he's on board with us. But I thought it'd be a good idea to have Tom walk our members through the specific process we use, sort of the interviews that we go through and so forth, to just give you a better understanding of how we arrived at the recommendations that we're presenting to you today. Tom?
Thank you, Sean, and good morning, everyone. Everyone got their email today with our endorsements, and I'm sure that a lot of people look at it and might be someone in their area or their district and they know. And probably people might say, how do they arrive at choosing who they're going to endorse? I want to try to give you a little insight today on that. So I'd like to, just start by, our legislative efforts. We've had successes. We had two big successes this year with the governor filing her budget, the House including it, conference committee, and finally getting approved and backed and signed by the governor, creating a COLA commission to look at COLA reform, so to speak, all aspects of it. It was done in 1996. It provided legislation in 1997 and was signed into law back then. So that was great. The other very good thing was getting the basic life insurance raised from $5,000 to $10,000. 40 years in the making. We finally got it done. It's law now. It'll take effect July 1st of next year. And again, that's people helping us in the legislature. And we like to help where we can. So we come to an endorsement. We don't go looking for endorsement to endorse people. I'm sorry. We people come to us. We don't go around and say, hey, you want our endorsement? Hey, no. It's valuable. So people will contact us. They'll say, hey, I'd like to sit down. I have an opponent, or I'm running, or this and that. And we say, we're nonpartisan, like Sean said, and we'll say, yeah, come on in, sit down, let's have a conversation. And they will. They'll come up, we'll sit down, we'll have a chat, sort of informal. We don't have, fill out this questionnaire, check things on this list. We don't do any of that. We want to get to know them, us, they get to know us. And basically, it's, our mission is supporting public retirees, supporting public retiree benefits, defending public retiree benefits when needed. And we ask a few questions about, and they're like, listen, my mother's a retired teacher. My uncle retired from the fire department last year. I know public retirees, and we get a commitment from them to, yes, we will support you. Let me know how I can help you in the future. My door's always open, and we'll look at each other and we'll make a decision and, be like, okay, we can give you our endorsement. It's not an involved process, not complex. We're here for one thing: public retirees, representing public retirees, representing you, our members. So that's kind of how we arrive at it. The other thing would be like, sometimes we have long-term members, been 3, 4, 5 terms in the legislature, and they'll get an opponent. Many of those people have been longtime supporters of public employees. They file bills for us. They sign on to bills. They file amendments. They sign on to amendments to the budget. They're asking when we run into them at a function or whatever, how's it going? You need anything? What are you doing? Those people, we don't have to say, come and sit down and chat with us. They've proven themselves. We'll see them, or we'll even reach out to them. That's when we reach out on occasion. Understand, how can we help you? You've been so helpful to us. And those are easy for us. That's like, yeah, sure. We want to keep you in the legislature because you are an ally. And they're extremely great. And a lot of times their colleagues and leadership are grateful for us helping them. So I can go on and on. I won't. We can have we ask you when we send out this list, we don't tell you how to vote. Your vote is your own. My vote's my own. Don't tell me how to vote. These are recommendations. We're telling you these are people that support us. If you could please consider voting for them to keep our support going in your district and in the state health for us. And that's why we ask. So I guess that's it. I just want to thank everyone for being a member of Mass Retirees Association. Having a strong association, a strong membership, which we do, only helps us in our successes. And for those members who donate to our PAC, thank you so much. That's very key. That is funds that we use to support people who support us. It's very important, and thank you all. And I'll turn it back to Sean now.
Well, thank you, Tom. And just to piggyback on what Tom said in terms of our legislative successes this year, the COLA Commission, for one, this is just the beginning of this process. It was important for us to create a process where we could get together the key individuals, the decision makers, the public policy experts who are focused on pension issues and funding of these benefits, to get everyone in the same room, along with us, along with PERAC, crunch the numbers, come up with recommendations of how we can improve this system, whether it be for state and teacher retirees, of which of course have a very long overdue increase in the COLA base, hopefully coming in the near future, to also providing additional options for local retirement systems to further improve their COLA base and create the new senior COLA that we've been talking about. But the only way we can achieve that is through this commission. But that's not the end of the process, because the commission is simply going to make a recommendation to the legislature, who will then be tasked with the next step of turning those recommendations into state law. And that's the process that we used back in 1996 that Tom referenced. In 1997 was the passage of Chapter 17, the landmark COLA reform. But the only reason why we're able to achieve these successes and victories over the years is because we have legislators on Beacon Hill working in the State House who make public retirees and the issues that are of direct importance to all of you a personal priority for them. We're not looking for folks who are going to simply yes us to death or fill out a questionnaire and make false promises that they can't keep. The process that we use is focused on people's actions, and actions, of course, always speak louder than words. So that's why this is so important to us. You'll also notice in today's recommendations, we do not make any recommendations in terms of the 5 ballot questions that will appear on the November ballot. None of those questions have any direct relevance to public retirees. And while all of us, of course, will have our own personal feelings about each one of the 5 questions, it was not something that this association is directly involved in and has the expertise on, quite honestly, to make an informed opinion to our members. So we have not taken any positions on those. We also have not made any endorsements for federal office. And as we've said before, in terms of the PAC is strictly a Massachusetts PAC. It cannot be used for any type of federal purpose, whether it be endorsing federal candidates, making donations to federal candidates, and things of that nature. So we have not become involved in any of the federal races, whether it be here in Massachusetts or at the national level. So with that, let me thank you again for tuning in. If you are in and around the Plymouth area today at 11 a.m., come on by the 1620 Hotel, say hello. Be great to see you in person. If you have any questions based on the recommendations, the endorsements we've made, feel free to contact Tom or myself or Frank Valeri, Nancy McGovern, any member of our team. We're happy to talk to you about it. And the one last point I would like to make, if you do not see your legislator on the list, it may simply be because they don't have an opponent this year. We have only endorsed in races where the person has earned our support, but also where there is an active campaign underway, a contested election. We haven't made any endorsements where there's only one candidate on the ballot. And you'll see a variety of Democrats, Republicans, and unenrolled candidates on our list. So again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will be back to you again next week with a new update. Bye-bye, everybody.